Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you how to enable and how to configure quality of service or QoS on your Asus router. Asus routers have one of the best implementations of quality of service amongst the commercial routers, the personal routers that you purchase to use in your home. And I'm gonna show you step by step how to enable each configuration and what are the different options. And most importantly, I'm gonna show you also when you implement quality of service, how it will affect the internet connection. In 2 words, let me tell you what is quality of service or QoS. The main purpose of QoS is to prioritize internet traffic that goes from your devices through your wireless router. So for instance, if someone is downloading a large file on your network, so that this device doesn't monopolize all the internet traffic, you can give file download a low priority and you can give, for example, media streaming a high priority. So this way you can still watch movies while someone is downloading a large file. Now, that being said, let's go to the router's administration page and show you how this is done. To log into your Asus router's administration page, you need to put this address, which is router.asus.com. So here I logged into my Asus router, and this is here adaptive QoS. So everything is done for QoS in this tab. Let me click it. So under adaptive QoS, you have all these tabs, and I'm gonna explain all these to you one by one. The first one is bandwidth monitor, and I'm gonna get back to it in a bit because it is linked to another option under QoS. The first thing you need to do is to click on QoS here, and then you need to enable QoS. So toggle this one here to on. And when you enable QoS, you see that you have these 3 options for the QoS type. You have the adaptive QoS, which is an intelligent algorithm from Asus that monitors the network and gives priority to certain types of tasks. I'm gonna show you all this. And you have also the traditional QoS that works on the service level, and it also works on the IP level, and it works also on the device level. And this way you can give priorities to services, devices, using their MAC address, using an IP range. I'm gonna show you all this. And also it has predefined priorities like highest, high, medium, low, and lowest. And the third option is bandwidth limiter. Bandwidth limiter here, simply, you can put a device, you can put an IP range, and you can limit the bandwidths depending on the bandwidth you have. So let's start first by adaptive QoS. Adaptive QoS, when you select it, you have under bandwidth setting 2 options. The first one is automatic setting. This way the Asus router will test your internet speed on a regular basis, and it will adapt the network traffic depending on the network speed. And this, in my opinion, is the best setting, because if you change the speed of your internet, this will adapt automatically and you don't have to come back and to configure it. And you have manual setting. Under manual settings, you need to specify the upload and the download speeds of your internet connection. So here, to get the speed of your internet connection, you can do it simply by clicking internet speed. And then here you have this big button, it's called Go. Click on it. It is using here the speedtest.net website. So it determined that I have 135 megabits as download and 22 megabits as upload. So let's go back now to the QoS tab. I'm gonna enable it once again because we didn't click on apply before. And let's click manual setting here. And the values that you got from the internet speed, you should put them here. So here you put 22, and under download, you put 135, and then you choose the priority you want, and then you click apply. But for me, I'm gonna go with automatic setting. And now you need to choose the activities that will have priority on your network. To make things simple, Asus here gives you a list of activities, so you can choose whatever activity you want and then click apply. But you have also something called customize. If you click on customize, under this tab, you have more granular control on what activity has priority on your network. So let me tell you what are the settings that I like. So for me, I always want video and audio streaming to have the highest priority, so that if you're watching a movie or if you're talking on an IP phone, it doesn't stutter. And then I want the web surfing to be the second priority. And then I want the learn from home to be the third priority. And then work from home and gaming, and then file transfer and others at the end. So after you choose all these, you have to click on Save. And here, for the QoS to take effect, you need to click on Apply. So this is everything you need to do if you want to choose adaptive QoS and with the automatic also internet bandwidth and internet speed testing. And this is what I've done to my router. So this is the setting I use on my home network. And the second option under QoS is traditional QoS. And remember, I told you when I started this video that these options here are linked to something in QoS. So these options, they are linked to the traditional QoS. So if you enable traditional QoS, and I'm gonna show you all this, and remember, we've done our internet speed before, so we have 135 download and 22 upload. So let's go back to QoS and choose traditional QoS. So let's put under upload here 22 and under download 135. And let's click on apply. So now the settings are applied, but we didn't yet configure what are the devices or what are the services that we're gonna give priority, either high or low priority. So to do this, you have here this drop-down list. It's called now QoS to configuration. If you click on it first, you have the user-defined QoS rules. So let's click on it. And you notice under the user-defined QoS rules, you have the web surfing, HTTPS, and these are the default rules, these 4 first lines. And you notice here the devices that I have on my network, they are reflected here under low. And why they are reflected under low? Before I switch and tell you why, let me click on apply so that the settings will be saved. So why they are low here? It is because under bandwidth monitor, you notice that they are gray, and gray means default. And default under QoS means low priority here. So this is as simple as that. So if I put, let's say, my PC here that I'm using now, let's put it on highest priority and let's click on apply. And you're gonna see that it will change automatically in the first tab of the QoS. So let's go now to the first tab, bandwidth monitor. And you notice that my PC here changed to red, and red is highest. By the way, let me tell you a little bit about this option here. You have your devices here that are connected to the network, and you have these priorities. You can simply drag and drop one of these priorities to your devices. And let's say this one, I'm gonna give it lowest. And don't forget to click on apply. And this way you can do it from this screen very simply without going into the granular options that I showed you before. So here, let me show you also, if you wanna, for instance, filter by the highest priority, if you click on highest here, you're gonna see only the highest priority devices and so on, like medium, lowest. And if you click on show all, it will show you all the devices with all the priorities. And if you wanna go a step further, you can also enable here apps analysis. And once you enable apps analysis, even under each device, you can see what application is taking the most bandwidth. And you see here, when I clicked on my PC, now you have everything that opened because I enabled apps analysis. So this is for this tab here. So let's go back to QoS now. So we were in this tab here. So you can also add by service name here if you want to, for instance, and these are predefined services. They are a little bit old in my opinion. So you have, like, for instance, here, I think I saw Windows Live. I mean, who's using Windows Live these days? No one is using it. And you don't have all the games and so on. So you can either put a service name, or you can put here, for instance, a source IP or a range of IP. And you can also add a device by its IP address or MAC address. So let me show you how. 192.168.1.10. And here, let's say we're gonna give it a medium priority. Just click on the plus, and it is here. And just click on apply, and the settings will be applied. So now let me show you how you can adjust these priorities here. So let's click on the drop-down list here, and then click on user-defined priorities. And here are the predefined priorities as they come on the Asus router. So you have highest, high, medium, low, and lowest. And as per Asus documentation, they say that do not touch the download bandwidths because it depends on the upload bandwidths. So only adjust the upload bandwidths. So you can adjust these as you want here, but of course don't put like the low more than the one before it, because otherwise it will be counterintuitive. And in my opinion, leave it by default. It's better like this. And these check marks here, I'm gonna also leave them by default. I'm okay with these. Let's click on apply simply. So now let me go back to the first page here under QoS. And let me now talk about the third one, which is bandwidth limiter. And this is like the simplest one. But in my opinion, you shouldn't use this one unless you have like a specific use case, because it's not automatic and it works on devices. So let me show you. So here, let's click on bandwidth limiter. And for bandwidth limiter here to work, you need, of course, to have your internet speed in mind so that you can put the bandwidth accordingly. Because if you put like a bandwidth that exceeds your internet speed, it's like you didn't do anything. So here we know that our internet speed is 135 megabits download and 22 megabits upload. And here for the target, if you click the drop-down list, it will show you the devices, and it will also show you offline devices in case you had offline devices. In my case, I don't have offline devices. So I'm gonna choose here my PC. And let's say I wanna give my PC a download limit of 60 megabits only and upload limit of 10. Let's click on the plus sign. And let's click apply. And now I'm gonna perform a speed test on my internet. And then when I remove the limit, I'm gonna perform another speed test, and you're gonna see the difference for yourself. So now the setting is applied. Let me open a new tab and go to Netflix's speed test, which is fast. And you notice that the bandwidth here, the maximum is around 60 megabits per second. And this is a bandwidth that we've done. And if I click on show more info, it will show you that the upload speed also, it will not exceed 10 megabits per second. So let me come here and let me remove it and click on apply. And now I'm gonna reperform an internet speed test, and you're gonna see that the bandwidth is not limited anymore. So let's go back to the internet speed test and let's click on refresh here. And you notice that the speed is not limited anymore, and I'm getting all the speed that I have on my internet connection. So one last thing that I wanted to show you, it's not really with QoS, but because it is in the same tab, I wanted to show it to you, is the web history. So if you click on web history here, and if you enable it, this way you'll have a log of all the accessed websites from all the devices on your network. So now the entries will be shown here as your network accesses internet websites. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I'll be glad to answer all your comments and all your questions. I hope that you liked this video and you found it useful. If you did, please share it, subscribe to my channel, and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and this will help my channel greatly. And this way, you'll not miss any future video I make. I'm Eloy. I want to thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.